Welcome to Phase 3 of the SAMVAD Masterclass. Today, we apply our communication engine to a process everyone dreads, the annual performance review. We are going to replace that administrative burden with a process sharpening performance in 60-second bursts. For decades, the corporate world has relied on these yearly sit-downs to correct behavior. The flaw in this structure is that it forces managers to evaluate and criticize work that is months old and no longer relevant. No one likes to be blindsided by negative feedback gathered over the course of a year. It ruins morale, and the data shows it actively drives top performers to look for a new job. Treating human development as a delayed batch processing task contradicts how we actually learn and adapt. We need real-time correction. Trying to successfully guide an employee using an annual review is exactly like driving a fast car completely blindfolded. It is the equivalent of a driver only asking for directions once a year, long after they have already crashed into a ditch. Modern organizations are abandoning this blind drive. To improve performance, we need a real-time navigation system for human capital. That brings us to our first operational upgrade, replacing the annual review with continuous microfeedback. Think about the operational logic of a modern GPS navigation system, like the Waze app. Waze constantly receives new data on traffic. When it detects a problem, it instantly recalculates your route. Map this continuous recalculation logic onto your employees' workflow. When they hit a roadblock, you course correct immediately to keep their momentum going. Instead of writing down a mistake in a file to bring up 6 months later, you provide a 1-minute coaching session the exact moment a meeting ends. This is the essence of 1-minute management, utilizing short, concentrated bursts of praise or correction right when the action occurs. By delivering instant microfeedback right when it matters, you optimize your team's trajectory immediately. You prevent a single uncorrected error from compounding into a habit that lasts the rest of the year. Now, you might be wondering, won't a constant stream of microfeedback make employees feel micromanaged and defensive? They will, unless you use a specific psychological lever of influence to bypass their ego defense. It is called Altercasting. Altercasting deliberately assigns a highly positive social role to someone. Instead of attacking behavior, you give them a new identity. The unconscious response is powerful. The target naturally begins to act in accordance with the new role. Tactically, this means you hold back on calling an employee into your office to criticize their sloppy work. Instead, you wait for the exact moment they submit a flawless deliverable. In that moment, you offer honest praise for an underlying character trait, such as their conscientiousness or their meticulous attention to detail. People feel incredibly good about themselves after a sincere compliment, generating a deep sense of personal pride in whatever trait produced the praise. Because you have engineered an admirable reputation for this employee, they are motivated to continually live up to that standard. You guide their behavior and get more of the good traits you want to see without ever triggering a defensive argument. Combining these two tools allows you to use the Waze model for timing and Altercasting for the psychological delivery. This requires an identity shift for you as a leader. You have to abandon the role of a backward-looking critic and become a forward-moving coach. The return on investment is massive. Just 60 seconds of strategic, identity-driven feedback today completely replaces hours of agonizing end-of-year review preparation later. Now that you know how to navigate face-to-face feedback, we face a new operational challenge. How do you maintain this communication when you are managing remote workers and cannot deliver feedback in person? In video 25, we will explore digital communication. We will learn how translating the SAMVAD framework to text and video prevents catastrophic digital misunderstandings. See you there.